Alrighty, now this is where I talk awkwardly just to make sure my mic's picking up on the stream. Blah blah blah. Alrighty, now. Perfect. I can hear my ugly voice. Hello and welcome, Mom and Dad, my two viewers for this video. I'm here with two new internet strangers. In this series, we're going to be just so much excitement. You guys are filled with hope. How could this man deliver a good story when he can't even deliver an introduction? Who knows? You've made a terrible mistake. But here with me today, we have three fairly experienced role players from what I've been picking up on, who will be taking on the personas of His Majesty's Musketeers to save the land for honor and glory. So let's meet our players today. Jared, you're the first one on my screen. So,
all right. What do you want to know about me? I've been playing since, what year is it? So I've been playing RPGs for about 17 years. Yeah. Started with 3.5, but most of what I've been playing up until about 4 years ago was a 2.0, because that's what the group liked to play. Painful as it is sometimes, but.
I'm the worst role player ever. I've played Dungeons and Dragons for 2 sessions.
Honestly, you're not missing much. I feel like it doesn't give enough time to people for actual role playing because there's so many rules. Yeah. I prefer things like this where it's more open as to what individual characters can do. So
this week I joined a Naruto like role playing group because I'm a big giant nerd, and the rule system for it's like an add-on to 2.5, and it's like an additional 1,000 pages. And
that sounds horrific.
That sounds painful. I mean, admittedly, I quit a group not too long ago that was playing Iron Kingdoms because about 90% of every game was just arguing over what the rules were. It's like, come on, let the DM have final say. So, if you want to go off the book, that's fine with me, as long as it's something consistent.
Sweet. And with that, let's skip over Richard because we're all very, very bored with him, and go to Rob. But wait, ladies and gentlemen, it's not the same Rob. It's another man with an equally boring name.
Well, sounds like maybe I'm sort of the graybeard of the bunch. Been at this RPG thing since, 81. Mostly D&D for, a couple of decades. And in recent years have started branching out into more things like this. FFG Star Wars, I've been playing a lot of that lately. The Green Ronins, Game of Thrones, pretty good system.
I bought that and read through it, but I haven't played a game of it yet. I have a question for you.
Sure.
In the 80s, did the characters have acid-washed pantaloons and stuff like that?
Mullets. I don't know about the characters, but the players did.
Hey, Rob, I've got a question for you as well.
Sure.
Relating to our other game that you're not part of. Do you in fact do Cockney accents?
Well, Gov, I've been known to once or twice.
Perfect.
Okay. Excellent.
I also just have a genuine question for you. After role-playing for 200 years, do the stories start to can you predict where a story's going?
Sometimes. Of course, the same is true of television, movies.
I feel you. I feel you. There's only like 31 plots, if you believe some people.
I had that conversation with the dean of fine arts one day when we were both in the dark room. He was taking a photography class that I was also taking, and he sort of convinced me.
Well, all right. I'll keep that in mind. Because I'm an insecure little man this entire game, I'm just gonna imagine you like in a dark corner with your arms crossed, being like, oh, I know where this is going.
Don't do that to yourself.
And finally, reluctantly, Richard, introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Richard.
Perfect, thank you.
Yep.
If you want to
If you
know
want to know more about
Richard,
me, you can listen to me introduce myself on that other game on your channel.
yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah. But for the other two guys playing,
I
been...
see what this is. This is a ploy to get us to listen to your channel.
Oh.
So curious about the mysterious Richard.
Yeah. But no, I was gonna say for the other two guys playing, so they don't have to sit through that really dreadful scenario you ran us through, Chris.
Right.
Yeah. I've been role playing for about almost 15 years now. Since I was a teenager, did a lot of Dungeons & Dragons 3rd edition, and then I did a bunch of Savage Worlds, and now I'm trying new systems. And I actually met Chris when I was running him through a game of Deadlands Reloaded, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, and then we did a couple other games together, like that Mutants and Masterminds game that like fell apart after one session.
But what a session it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we keep bumping into each other. My name's Chris. I've been role playing for 4 years, and me saying that, I'm like, what arrogance I have to GM for these Methuselah-esque players, but hopefully I can provide you with enough entertainment to show up next week. We shall see. And with that, let's venture to get started with some roleplay, shall we? As a phone goes off in the distance of my house. So just the mission statement for today's session. This will be taking place 3 years before the main campaign. And my god, if someone does not pick up that phone. 3 years before our main campaign, these characters have nothing to do with the characters our beautiful PCs will be making for next week's show, but you know, these are just characters that are doing stuff before everything else happened. As we are the Musketeers, this will be taking place in Montaigne, which is presently the richest and most powerful nation, all with under the rule of Emperor Leon Alexander. Oh yeah, Jared, thank you for doing that character work.
Yeah, it's no problem.
I noticed it wasn't all 500
Of course,
questions, but you know.
Yeah, I skipped everything that I didn't have an answer to or wasn't relevant. Like, I don't think my character has a favorite movie.
No favorite radio dramas?
But you could pick a favorite play.
I could, but then I'd have to make up a play.
Yeah, I guess that kind of defeats the purpose of the exercise.
Maybe that gets into some deep psychological. So, what play did you make up?
Oh, yeah. World building. Come on. Let's get on it. Yeah, that's all the introduction I can think of for this thing. Oh, yeah, just on the nature of this in general, it's going to be pretty fast. Not fast-paced, I don't know. It's just going to be us soaking our feet in the rules and getting to know each other as role players, and it's There won't be any deep philosophical quandaries or anything like that. It's just going to be a fun little romp. The villain's going to be clear, and we're all going to have a good time. Asterisk next to that last statement. So for the cast today, we have, again in the same order, Jared playing Lancelin. He is the kind of the sergeant of this musketeer group. He's the brains of the operation. He's all about giving all his other boys extra dice and boosts in their skills and stuff like that. Also very smart. He has 4 wits and 3 scholarships. So.
Let's just hope I can play up to it.
Don't you hate that when you're like, I'm going to play a smart character, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm stupid. But yeah, let's see. And after that, we have The Man with No Name, Le Shooter, by the Rob the Elder. And Le Shooter lives up to his name as he has guns and several abilities that help him use guns. And what else? I gave him another thing. Oh, he's very convincing. He's very charming. As all men with guns are, I find. And then in a strange alternate dimension where she didn't start killing off children across the globe, we have Laverne. This time headed up by Richard.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting playing the character who is responsible for getting my other guy killed.
Yeah. Are you gonna, gonna try playing her crazy, or you gonna play her straight this round?
Well, I thought I'd play her straight for like, 4/5 of the game, and then in the last fifth go just absolutely nuts and start murdering people.
Just have a crazy heel turn.
Yeah,
Great. I can't wait till she pops up in our real campaign and starts. It's gonna be great.
And the other one, yeah.
So before we launch into exposition, does anybody have questions about any of their abilities? Just so keep that in mind. I always ask this, and players always say, "Yeah, we'll get to it when we get to it." So if that's how you guys feel, we shall move on. Oh yeah, I'm very bad at remembering your backgrounds for getting hero dice, so just keep those in mind and pester me when you think it pops up, because I've got other things to worry about. So, 3 years ago in Le Château de la Vie, we find a large congregation of musketeers in their parade uniforms as 3 very special musketeers are being awarded medals for their tales of valor and daring do, and these characters are, of course, the 3 which I just mentioned earlier. Le Château de la Vie was once the Imperial Palace of Montaigne, where all the royalty hung out and kicked back and did morally reprehensible stuff. But Le Emperor in recent years built his famous Le Château de la Soule, which more or less has bankrupted the country, but those economic implications haven't hit everybody yet, so it's cool so far. It's the largest palace ever built, and it is extravagant to the nines. So with that, all the minor functionaries and other people who get exiled from court, they shack up at Le Château de la Vie, where we are currently. So this is where all the ministry work goes, and it doesn't have much glory, except it is home to Montaigne's favorite sons, the Musketeers, which are everybody's favorite soldiers in all of Montaigne. They have a reputation for being very honorable gentlemen. Yes, applause. Thank you. very honorable gentlemen, knights of valor. They help out the little folk while staying loyal to the nobility and all of that. They're all reported to be very handsome. And such things such as that. But today, the Crusp of the Crusp is here, receiving medals for their acts of duty. Currently, they're going through those beautiful cobblestone gray pathways as they are flanked on both sides by their comrades as they are going up the parade route to where the captain, the grand leader of the Musketeers, Captain Robart Corbeau, is standing ready to present them with their medals with his aides and a bunch of muckety-muck royal types. Nobody actually of the royal family, but you know. Some nice nobles are on their way. And so as we're coming up this direction, I asked the three of you, what did your characters do to earn a medal from the Musketeers? Unlike the normal army, the Musketeer only has like 5 medals, and they almost never give them out. So you guys are some pretty fly folks if you got actually recognized with a commendation. So tell me, what was it?
Quick question: are we at war with Spain at this point? I mean, fancy Spain.
Castile, not Spain.
Yeah.
No, that's actually going to pop up in the next year or so.
So we're still at war with Eisen then?
In recent this is like right after the emperor like kicked the entire church out of the country.
Which royal daughter is currently in favor?
It is of course Louise de Montaigne, the oldest.
Okay. Is Anne current? Is this before Anne and Jean-Marie get married?
Yes, it is. As the dowry, John Marie was appointed as the captain. So right now he's a lieutenant first class. So they are courting each other, but they are not married yet.
Then how about we foiled a kidnapping attempt on Anne ourselves?
Sounds good to me.
I mean, this works as a segue as to why he gets closer to her as well.
Ah, very good.
Nice.
So, in addition to being formally grateful, Jean-Marie should be personally grateful.
But of course. Sounds.
Although we never got any of the conspirators alive, so we don't know why.
Excellent. So yeah, as you head up I believe there are 4 lieutenants first class. 3 out of the 4 of them are out of Charus. How do you pronounce that at the moment? You know, taking care of the whole kicking out everybody who worships the most popular religion on Earth out of the country. So they're working on that. However, Lieutenant Jean-Marie and Captain Robart Corbeau are both here to present you with your medals as you, you know, clank along the path by your comrades up those killer stairs. This is not the awesome map I was talking about. That comes later. Up those stairs and you know, right next to your main man, Jean-Marie, and the other nobles that aren't worth talking about. And so Robart Corbeau, he is a middle-aged man. He's been captain of the Musketeers for about 10 years, and as all the captains are, he's very, very well liked. He's like everybody's dad, and he's just the bee's knees as far as you are concerned. He's a very nicely trimmed goatee, and he is abnormally tall and lanky, but not like particularly muscular.
Old issue there, clicks his heels together, gives a slight bow, and walks down.
and eyes from being distorted.
Yeah, but we're gonna ignore that, and it's gonna get better in just a second. I have no doubt. So Mr. Corbeau has, really mentored everybody. So let's go around the table and, tell a story of when he, taught you something important, and also describe what you imagine your character looking like. The first hour, as always, is open-ended questions. So let's, Jared, you have the bad luck of being the first one on my screen, so.
Okay.
You're on the hot seat all the time.
That's what I get for connecting last. Give me a second. I guess Lancelin appears to be I guess about average height. So what, 5'10"? Lancelin appears to be about average height, with the typical brown hair and eyes of the majority of Montaigne. His hair falls in smaller ringlets down to just below his shoulders, and he clearly cares enough about it that it's styled. He while he does not have any individually close memory with Corbain, he was earmarked by him ever since the military academy, and as such, his loyalty is almost completely with the captain.
Excellent.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good, man. Richard, you're next.
Excellent. Hang on, let me pull up my picture. All right, Laverne is a woman. We'll say last time I think Rob said that she was was really young. So let's say this time she's in her, I don't know, 30s or so. And she's wearing a very well-made, fresh-looking Musketeer's outfit. Obviously no expense was spared. She's got a really nice-looking, well-used rapier by her side that her hand never strays too far from. She's got a really awesome hat, which has a big old ostrich plume in it.
Yes.
Yeah. And what was this gentleman's name again? I'm sorry.
Robar Corbeau?
Robar Corbeau, yeah. What he did for her was I don't, how old is he? Is he about the same age as Laverne, or would he be older?
He's in his 50s.
Okay, then all right. I'll say he was good friends with Laverne's family, and in order for her to get into they were a little short on cash, so in order for her to get into the Duelist Academy and then the Musketeers, he wrote her a letter of recommendation, maybe even loaned her a little bit of money.
Yay, very nice of him. Sounds good. And Rob, our patience has been rewarded. Your connectivity is awesome once more, and your voice will sound normal when you begin to speak about your character, Le Shooter.
All right, Le Shooter is sort of Spartan in his appearance. His hair is cropped close. His musketeer uniform is precise, but not particularly fine or fancy. His finest possession would be the brace of pistols he wears. He takes tender, loving care of. as far as what Rubar has taught him, along with all of the musketeer skills, it was Rubar that taught him to navigate the treacherous arena of courtly dining, dancing, and so forth.
Excellent. Excellent. Sounds good to me. We're gonna run through the first part of this scenario, and then let's... Jared, is Discord work for you? Is that...
That works fine. Fine for me.
Alrighty, we'll see if we have better connectivity on there. And if not, as the Montaigne would say, c'est la vie. Oh. Anyway. So yes, he...
Sometimes I wonder why I hang out with you, Chris.
I you know? I understand. Yeah, he gives you all your medals, says a fine speech about how you're all glorious examples of valor. Everybody wonders why Louise didn't show up, saying that you saved her life, but you know, people to do, places to see. You understand. And at the height of the ceremony, that is when we get into the action as the familiar pop of a musket rifle can be heard over the eastern wall of the chateau, and everybody flinches at it, but none more than Robert Corbeau. And why does he flinch so much, we all might be asking ourselves. Well, dramatically, our characters turn towards their beloved captain. In a dramatic swoop, the camera changes, and we see Robert's normally immaculate uniform suddenly soiled with the sight of crimson blood weeping through an open wound straight in his heart.
Mon Dieu!
Mon Dieu! As everybody drops to their knees and goes, no! As, you know, that's a bummer, as Richard said. But our three heroes are not, you know, the average musketeer. They are heroes, and they seize such moments. And upon that eastern wall, there we see him, the sniper who took down your beloved captain. And this is the type of situation where I ask you guys to tell me what your approach is as you are going to give chase to the assassin of the musketeer captain.
I will quickly start giving out orders. I'll tell the shooter to try to wing him, as we need to take him alive, and yell towards some of the miscellaneous NPC musketeers to quickly close the gate and try to surround him.
Alrighty, so that's going to be a warfare, I assume, what you're going for?
Yeah, warfare panache,
Sounds good.
I guess.
And what a roll it was.
All of 2 raises.
But you know, that's still 2 raises.
Hey, do you not get a reroll die for that?
For what?
Thank you.
For
Okay.
warfare.
That's true. You have 3 ranks in warfare, which means that you get to reroll a dice. Roll 1 more.
Okay.
And then, because this was the first time you used that particular combination of skills, you actually get to roll a 2nd die. And that's to encourage everybody to, you know, experiment with their moves and stuff.
Okay, so that'll give me what, 3 raises then?
I believe so. There we go. Thank you, Richard, for reminding us of the game. All right, Richard, how do you give chase to this?
Well, let me see here. I'm gonna look at my skills. I'm going to try to use, let's say, wits and athletics, and we're gonna say that's symbolized by Laverne, like noticing where the guy is and quickly calculating, like, okay, if the quickest way out of here is to take this route, and she's gonna try to head him off that route by doing some parkour stuff or something.
Killer. Everybody loves the Scorpion Clan.
All right, so I get an extra die and one reroll, right? Nothing else.
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's see here. That's 10. That's 20. 2 successes. I'm counting 3 successes. Do you see any more?
No.
Excellent. All right, we'll go with that then.
All right, 3-3, and finally, Le Shooter. How would you like to?
Le Shooter will swing up his trusty musket as he kneels down and rests it on the rail there on the balcony. Take aim at the miscreant and try and wing him.
Okie doke. You can go ahead and roll 2 extra dice since Jared was specifically helping you out in your endeavor.
In fact, I'm going to spend a hero point to do that.
Oh, damn.
So add 4 extra dice.
Alright, now is there a way to do that from the sheet?
There's no easy way.
Okay.
At the top of your character sheet, there's actually a thing that says add 3, I believe. Or plus,
And there's a +4.
Yeah, +4. I didn't know it went to +4. Then yes, there is an easy way. Press +4.
Fair enough. So, extra die, reroll. And +4. My.
That looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, I'm just reeling at
I
the side
see
of it.
5 successes. Okay.
Alright, Le Shooter is the man.
Well, the shooter had a lot of help.
Yeah. I guess I should roll for this idiot while we're at it. And what a villain he is. Alright, with a grand total of 2 raises, he shall be going last. So, Le Shooter, can I guess what your first move is gonna be?
Probably so.
Alrighty, so you like to spin one of those fat raises to shoot him with again?
Indeed.
Sweet, sweet. So that'll take you down to 4, and that will give him a critical hit. And with that, we go down to Jared. Lancelin, actually.
Let's see.
Oh, I guess, I was gonna do this earlier, but, I forgot about it. I'm gonna start trying to do this in my 7C games, because I think it might sound interesting. I'm gonna ask each of you, there's gonna be something, like, helpful in the environment that you can use. Because I'm just trying really hard to make combat in this system enjoyable. So I've been experimenting a lot. So I'm gonna ask each of you, like, there's gonna be something in the environment that could be helpful for you if you wanted to, like, interact with it. So I'm gonna go around and ask you guys that. Do you get what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
For instance, there's like a ceremonial cannon off to the side, or Literally anything like that. Like,
Winging with the cannon.
Can I spend my raises to get the NPCs to make it to the gate? Or
yes, you
There would
can.
be
We can do that very easily.
okay. Then yeah, I'll spend a raise to direct them to seal off the gate and cut off our shooters' route of escape.
Okay. Yeah, the troops head towards those main gates and lock them up tight. And, you know, get their bayonets ready. Then we go down to Richard, who
Yep.
it's gonna take one race for you to get up on those walls and give chase.
Okay. Well, I mean, would I be like chasing behind him, or would it be like more like I'm trying to cut him off? I was like, originally when I said my thing, I thought that he was going out another way, but it sounds like y'all already got his route of escape cut off. Would that be an accurate statement, Chris? Or is there like another route he's taking out of here?
He's a very athletic type of dude, so he might find another way out. That's what
Okay.
the way he's sprinting towards those gates, it doesn't look like maybe he's not sweating.
Okay, then I guess I'll just give chase. Then I'll spend a raise.
Alrighty. And on his turn, he's gonna use one of those delicious raises. Half.
Oh, hey, for the my environment thing.
Yes, sir.
Could we say that maybe because this isn't as affluent in a state as it used to be, maybe some of the cobblestones, it isn't as well, maintained as it could be. Maybe he could, I don't know, trip on them or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Excellent.
Spoiled by loose roof tile.
Yeah.
Do I need to spend another race for that, or are we good, or what?
Oh, that's a good point. I'll just, rules. We're doing it a little light right now. I'll just let you do it.
Excellent.
But next time I'll be a stern GM. Yeah, with that in mind, instead of spending one race, it's actually gonna take him 2 to pull off this hyper move that he's gonna do. Because goddamn, those cobblestones are atrocious. He's in this round, he from his little crow's nest, he killed the musketeer captain and sprinted towards the doorway. But before he could get far, Le Shooter whipped out his everybody thought it was a ceremonial musket, but somehow it was already loaded and ready to go, and he whips around and shoots this guy in the back and causes him to stumble, and his foot gets caught in a cobblestone street, and he tumbles. Yeah, as he's going straight along, the guards close up the gates on him, and Laverne is close behind him as he spends his 2 raises and also a danger point to activate one of his special abilities, which is second story work. So, like a squirrel up a tree, this man, as he's going towards the gate, he kind of gives a leap and grabs onto the upper stonework that's above the gate and hefts himself up and starts crawling up towards the top of the wall where he ends himself for this round because he rolled like a pleb. Which puts us back up with Rob, who is looking down the long barrel of 4 raises to reload that musket.
Yeah, I think he's going to be gone before the musket gets reloaded. So, maybe for my piece of environment to interact with, someone is leading a couple of horses by, and the shooter leaps astride one of them, grabbing the reins of the others, and gives chase. So sort of changing approach.
All right, that sounds good. Yeah, for changing your approach, there'll actually be 2 raises instead of 1. But of course, there was some ceremonial ponies being paraded around behind you guys. The shooter jumps on one of those and heads in, catches up with Laverne as Lancelin begins his second round.
Seeing the guy scaling the gate that we just closed, it is clear that he's probably going to get away if we do nothing. So I will. See, Laverne is right behind him, right?
Yes.
I will stick my ceremonial sword down this loaded but empty cannon and spend a raise to create an opportunity for him to catch him by scaring the guy, since there's no way I'm going to actually hit him with my sword, with the cannon.
All right, give yourself a hero point for that. That's amazing. Yeah, that totally happens, and conveniently enough, it's Richard's turn.
In fact, I'll spend 2 raises, so you don't have to spend a raise to take advantage of this opportunity, because I have team player.
Cool.
Sweet. So,
all right,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to tackle him if that's possible. If we could get this guy alive, that'll make life a lot easier.
But of course, for the low price of one raise, you managed to tackle this guy and subdue him, as he's kind of helpless at the moment. So in this round, Le Shooter jumps on a horse, chases after them, catches up to Laverne as she gets under this dude who's starting to climb up a gate, when suddenly a cannon goes off and a sword flies through the air, impaling this dude's leg into the gate as he goes, "What?" and lets go of it, and he's kind of dangling there, and Laverne just bodies him and subdues him on the floor. Very good. That's our first action sequence. The one I had the least preparation for, so fear not. And yes, you capture a man who is in some fairly nice clothing. He's not going to a ball anytime soon, but he's definitely middle class. He's wearing a stylized mask that looks like a skull. Ooh, because he thinks he's very cool. Laverne, I imagine, is very quick to kick away the 2 pistols that he has holstered on his side.
That would be preferable, yes.
And yeah, you managed to capture him. Very good. He is, of course, the artistically named White Skull. He's actually a fairly infamous assassin, but gosh darn it, if escaping an entire castle full of musketeers isn't a hard job, I don't know what is. And even this...
Still, ballsy move, trying to take him out in broad daylight.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and everybody, you guys managed to swoop him up, and it takes no good amount of torturing. He's very eager to share with you who hired him and where they are, if his sentence doesn't mean execution.
Oh, he'll talk, and then he will probably die.
See what these two are typing away before I say anything else. I mean, if you want to, there's no. Who's gonna stop you?
Oh man, I feel a second medal coming on.
Yeah, that thing is
A mangled lump of cheap steel and filigree.
Yep, it's not looking too hot.
But it should be hung in the Musketeer Academy in a place of honor.
That's right. It's under the plaque that says the third coolest thing to ever happen in this in this chateau. Next to a I don't know, a minotaur's head and an unexplained pair of stockings.
Nice.
But yeah, it's about a little bit after an hour later. This guy, he's very calm. He's upset that he got like a molten sword stuck through his leg as he was trying to murder a person. But you know, this type of thing happens. Yeah, he is a. Sorry, I'm just trying to think of how to proceed. He will inform everybody that he is working for an individual by the name of, again, very creatively named Vox Populi, the voice of the people, who the Musketeers have kind of heard of him. He hasn't caused, like, any true crimes up until now, but he's been kind of a rabble-rouser and has been encouraging peasants to do things not suitable for their station, like lynching nobles and stuff like that. But you know, nothing that could
That's
stick.
kind of a crime, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume there isn't free speech in fantasy France. Montague.
You're right, that example might have gotten away from me. But with that, he's very happy to tell you guys that they're camped out. He tells you a location, the warehouse district, where he and his the rest of his scumbags are currently being kept. And gosh darn it, if you wouldn't know it, John Marie, who is the only like ranking officer at the moment in Charus, as R.I.P. Robert Corbeau is dead. He asked if the three of you would be oh so willing to go investigate this location.
But of course.
Sure, why
I'd be
not? What
honored.
are we on a quest?
Certainly.
And he goes, oh, excellent, thank you ever so much. And he looks at Lancelot and gives a nod. He goes, hey, good work out there.
I'll just have to go pick up a new sword.
Yeah, you go over to the ceremonial sword rack and pick one up. And Rob, can I hear you say a few words before I make a decision?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
And I think we're gonna have to.
I don't know. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but you sound like you're talking through a tin can that's on fire.
Nice.
Damn. Yeah, so with that, I think, is everybody okay with trying to switch over to Discord for, hopefully better quality.
Sure.
Suits me fine.
Okie doke. Mom, Dad will be returning in. Just kidding. Only one person's watching. We'll return momentarily.